Rebecca Henderson, Reimagining Capitalism in a World on Fire. In the age of global crises and inequality, the book Reimagining Capitalism in a World on Fire by Rebecca Henderson challenges the status quo of prioritizing shareholder returns, which has led to environmental and social issues. Through real-life examples of companies taking transformative approaches, this book summary highlights key lessons on how businesses can be successful while still making a positive impact on the environment and society. It emphasizes the importance of building a shared purpose, bringing businesses together for progressive change, and resisting oppressive forces to foster a more sustainable and fair capitalism. Delve into this summary and explore the inspiring stories of businesses challenging traditional economic notions.
Shareholder prioritization, profit over planet. The American economist Milton Friedman's belief that increasing profit should be a corporation's sole moral responsibility has made prioritizing shareholder gains above all else a common practice in the corporate world. However, this mentality is harmful to both the planet and businesses themselves. Many large companies prioritize shareholder gains over considerations such as the environment, workers' wages, and innovation. Additionally, it contributes to climate change as big fossil fuel companies prioritize shareholder returns over the planet, leading to devastating consequences. Moreover, prioritizing shareholder gains is linked to widespread inequality, which has resulted in the election of authoritarian populist leaders worldwide. Ultimately, this business model is short-sighted, as it lacks long-term benefits for both the planet and businesses. Profit-hungry businesses that prioritize shareholders over everything else are threatening the very prospect of life on Earth, as illustrated by the Peabody Energy. The success of ethical capitalism. Business often gets a bad reputation for neglecting its responsibility to society and the environment. However, not all businesses are driven purely by short-term interests. The story of Norsk Gjenvinning NG, a Norwegian waste disposal company, shows how capitalism can be both ethical and profitable. When Erik Osmundsen took over as CEO, he introduced a zero-tolerance policy on corruption, made new hires from outside the waste disposal industry, and introduced new technology to recycle waste more effectively. These developments presented profitable opportunities and attracted world-class talent who unified ethical purpose with profitability. As a result, NG is now one of the most profitable waste disposal companies in Scandinavia. The key message here is that it's possible for a business to be successful and do the right thing. Reforming business-investor relations. Shareholders' demands often cause businesses to neglect pressing issues like climate change and poverty. To avoid this, businesses can reform their accounting, rely on impact investors, and limit investor power. Accounting reform requires transparent reporting on environmental, social, and governance issues, attracting investors keen on promoting sustainability and fairness. Impact investors seek to invest in companies aiming to make a difference and can be attracted through a driven purpose. Some companies limit investor power by issuing two classes of shares, with founders holding more voting power. However, changing legislation and business cooperation are also important to combat the worst aspects of corporate finance. Power in collaboration. Businesses can drive change and legislation by working together, as exemplified by Nike's formation of the Sustainable Apparel Coalition. While collaboration can falter without full commitment, legislation can help push for lasting change. The history of businesses helping force legislation is proof that businesses can drive change when they think and act as one. Sustainable tea production. Sustainable tea production is economically profitable and good for the planet. Unilever stands as an example of how the world's second most popular drink, tea, can be procured sustainably through renewable farming practices. Michiel Lanes, the new head of brand development at Unilever's Lipton Tea, committed to purchasing 100% sustainably grown tea to make sure the tea suppliers treated their laborers fairly. The farm practices that Unilever implemented proved beneficial as they resulted in some of the highest yields while protecting the soil and limiting agrochemicals. These practices not only resulted in good quality tea but also kept the planet safe. In conclusion, Unilever was able to avoid damaging exposés of its suppliers' practices while making customers loyal to their brands. Aetna's purpose-driven success. In 2015, Aetna's CEO Mark Bertolini raised the minimum wage to $16 per hour as a way to align employees with the company's mission to improve healthcare in the U.S. Bertolini had witnessed the impersonal nature of American healthcare firsthand when his son was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Aetna made a shift from simply selling insurance to actively support patients, ensuring they received personalized care. The results were positive for patients, profits, and employee satisfaction. Bertolini's approach shows that shared purpose is vital for a company's success. The business world as allies. The private sector has played a crucial role in support of minorities and the LGBTQ+ community, countering oppressive legislation and adopting anti-discrimination policies. AT&T and IBM paved the way with their forward-thinking policies in the 70s and 80s. Today, over 366 out of 781 companies score 100% on the Corporate Equality Index. In recent years, companies like American Airlines, Facebook, Apple, and Google have publicly opposed discriminatory legislation. When Merck's CEO, Ken Frazier, resigned from his post on President Trump's Manufacturing Council, all other CEOs followed suit. With vulnerable groups facing oppression, the business world can help shape a more inclusive future. The power of anonymous contributors. Real change is often gradual and the work of many. The fight against climate change or any historical movement involves countless forgotten individuals who contribute to the cause. In the business world, creating purposeful and conscientious companies requires the work of many. The story of Eric Osmundson, who turned his corrupt waste disposal firm into something to be proud of, is a testament to this fact. Any individual, no matter how small their role may seem, can contribute to progressive change.
As we reach the conclusion of Rebecca Henderson's Reimagining Capitalism in a World on Fire, we learn that businesses can bring about social and environmental change while still being successful. Companies like Norsk Gjenvinning, Unilever, and Aetna reveal that purposeful and ethical business models can be sustainable, transformative, and profitable. The book strongly advocates for an emphasis on shared purpose, collaboration, and advocacy for minority rights. Creating a better future will require acknowledging the crucial role that businesses play in shaping the world and driving progress. Capitalism can be reimagined to benefit not just shareholders, but the entire planet and its people, if businesses embrace progressive change with determination and unity.